Hello, welcome back to the United Way for the Manchester United versus Fulham Premier League preview. We are back at Old Trafford on Sunday at 2 p.m. We welcome Fulham. Manchester United, we are coming into this game in brilliant form. 2 wins against the top two, Arsenal and City. 2 well-deserved wins. And we welcome a Fulham team who are actually in good form themselves. They're doing very well, to be honest. But look, we'll talk about us and then we'll jump into Fulham. Before we get stuck into the video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It much appreciated as always. Look, I'm actually looking forward to this game. I think, look, it's back at Old Trafford. We've got 2 big wins in 2 games that no one expected us to get even a point out of. And there were 2 wins that we played well and we deserved to win. And we got the all-important 3 points. And you know what? This is the sort of game now where we're like, please, Manchester United, don't lose this. Don't drop points here. You cannot go and beat Liverpool. We beat Liverpool as well a couple of months ago, but you cannot go and beat City and Arsenal and then drop points just like that, because Arsenal and City are better than Fulham. But look, it's going to be a big game. It is going to be a big game, and I'm really looking forward to it. But look, we'll get stuck into the form here. So 1-1 draw against Leeds, 2-2 draw against Burnley, 2-1 loss against Brighton in the FA Cup, 2-0 win against City, and a 3-2 win against Arsenal. So looking at the end there, 2 wins, 2 draws, and 1 loss. So look, you can look at it and say, we've only lost 1 game in the last 5. Some will look at it and say, well, we've only won 1, 2, and 5. But look at the 2 and 5 we've won. It's, how can you really complain too much about that one? Because, like I said at the start, no one expected us. Not many backed us to beat Man City and Arsenal. I actually did. Even when we got knocked out against Brighton, I remember waking up on the Monday, the few days before we played City, and I thought, we're winning this on Saturday. You just knew it. And then Arsenal, then when we beat City, I thought, Arsenal, come on. If we play like we did against City, we'll win, and we did. So yeah, really can't wait for it. But look, we started off on a high. But unfortunately, in terms of team news, I want to start off by talking about Patrick Dorgu. I mean, we can't enjoy art, and can we, as Manchester United fans? We can't have art and good. We're not allowed. Sometimes it's too good to be true. We have 2 big wins, 2 massive wins. We're 4th place, playing well. Carrick'S ball is changing every Manchester United fan's life. And then we get news on the Tuesday that Patrick Dorgu was going to be out for 10 weeks. And the fact that he was coming in, like he was not even coming into it, he was playing very well. When he was starting to build a bit of form up, scoring that goal he scored against Arsenal, that was a thunder cunt of a goal, I tell you that. Even Arsenal are praising that goal. That's just going to show how good it is, and the Cunha goal. I'll ask you, which goal was better, Dorgu's or Cunha's? I'm still finding. I think Cunha's because it was the winner, but that Dorgu goal that had whipped cream at the end of that. Cunha's goal had whipped cream at the end of it. Dorgu's goal had strawberries on the end of it. Beautiful, but it is a shame. And look, he went from left back, not having the greatest of performances. Amram pushed him up to left wing before obviously he pushed him up left wing against Newcastle, and he scored. He basically scored as the winner because he won that game 1-0 all down to Dorgu. But he scored. The thing is about Dorgu, he only scores bangers. That's the thing about Dorgu. He only scores bangers, and he's scoring a good few lately. Scored against City, scored against Arsenal, 2 good goals. Obviously, the Arsenal goal that he scored was a lot better than that, but he still got a good goal against City, making that cheeky running behind. push up to left wing, and he's a totally different player. Like everyone's saying, he's like our Gareth Bale. He's literally our Gareth Bale. I mean, the way Gareth Bale's career went, or how it was, and how he played, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a very, very good thing to say about saying that about the argue that he's our Bale. But it's a shame. Look, obviously, Cunha can obviously play now. I think Cunha will be flying after getting an assist against City and scoring against Arsenal. So yeah, look, he didn't play. He didn't start the previous two, but he had a huge impact on the two previous games. So he'd be in there. Dargu, obviously, he likes to run. He's a quick player. Can help us in the defending as well. And yeah, I'm gutted for him. I really am gutted for him. 10 weeks. I mean, that could be mid-April. I seen something that he could be back for the Leeds game when we played him at Old Trafford. So it's a shame because not only that, he'd be looking at the World Cup. I mean, look, depending on how things go, my country Ireland could be playing his team Denmark in the playoff finals at the Aviva. So I mean, yeah, like it's gonna be weird if he is back for that because I'll be rooting against him for 90 minutes. But you have to give the man credit. You have to give it to him. He's been doing a lot of work lately. Training by himself and all. He's been doing a lot, and I hope he's back. I hope he has a speedy recovery and he's back. Because it's such a shame. But yeah, I mean, look, in terms of other team news, Carrick spoke about Xerxes and Delay. He says Josh is back training this week, but Delay hasn't trained with the team yet. So, I mean, there was photos of him yesterday, I think, walking into the training ground, but obviously he's doing a bit of work, maybe in the gym, things like that. I mean, I remember him saying about Delay that it was a minor injury and he should be back for the next game. I think that would have been, was it Leeds? Was it Leeds before the new year? It wasn't. It was West Ham. West Ham was when it was, and yeah, he hasn't. We haven't seen him since. And that West Ham game was like the start of December, I think it was. So, yeah, not ideal. Not ideal. Hopefully he's back soon. Look at the way the defences are playing lately. I don't mind. But look, let's jump in and talk about Michael Carrick. Titles. Carrick's big test need to win because we do, and it is his big test. The reason why is, well, first of all, we need to keep up our good momentum of how we're performing. And the thing is, the difference between this game and the previous two games is we're going to have a lot more of the ball. We're going to be the one dominating. The previous two games, sit back, basically it was sort of counter-attacking stuff. And it wasn't just counter-attacking stuff. We've done a lot more as well, but defending then attack, whereas Fulham will do that and they're good at defending and attacking. But will it be a difference in tactics? Because like I said, previous two games, City Arsenal, it was pretty much nailed on, knew what to do. This game, you're sort of looking at it and thinking, how will it go? Who'll be dominating? Because we're not going to be... At home, we never really sit back and counter. Not against teams like Fulham. But the problem is, you look at some of the games we've dropped points. We've gained points against, like, we beat Liverpool, City, Arsenal, Chelsea. But then we go and drop points to Spurs, West Ham, Burnley, Wolves, Forest, Bournemouth, a few more games. So I don't want Fulham being that other game where we're dropping stupid points, silly points after getting, 6 crucial points ever in our last 2. That can't be ideal. Looking at Fulham's away form here, they're 11th in the league for away form, 3 wins, and they picked up 11 points away from home. Whereas Manchester United at home, let me just get it up here fairly quick. We are 9th, 6 wins at home. We've picked up 21 points. So if this was at Craven Cottage, I reckon it'd be a tricky one. I reckon it'd be a tricky one. But because Fulham are 6th at home, 6th in home form with 23.7 wins. We should have, at the start of the season, that game should have been done and dusted by half time, and it wasn't. So if it's to be similar, we can't be having that. In the league, Fulham are 7th in the league with 34 points. We're 4th with 38 points. 2 points ahead of Liverpool, a point ahead of Chelsea. Chelsea play West Ham at Stamford Bridge on Saturday. Liverpool play Newcastle at Anfield on Saturday night as well. So they'd be 2 games that we'll be keeping a close eye on. But like I said, we can't be dropping silly points. We just simply cannot be dropping silly points against this Fulham team. I think how we're playing, I don't think so. I think how we're playing, I don't think so. But I'm sure Carrick will, understand and realise, we've won big games and then we went and maybe lost or drew and games after where we were expected to win. So, but look, that was under Ruben Amorim. It could be different under Michael Carrick. Who knows? We'll find out on Sunday. But I do imagine the fact that we're at home, the fans, Old Trafford, the crowd be really, really up for it. And that'll feed onto the Manchester United players. And then I expect us to play well and, spoiler, win. So, yeah. And look, one thing that's, I want to talk about our defence lately. And I'm probably going to jinx it. Our watchers can see it shit on the goals on Sunday. Hopefully not. Fingers crossed we don't. I doubt it. But it's I've liked it. I've liked it. Yeah, look, we haven't really kept a lot of clean sheets, but it's a defence that I'm calm with, confident with. Especially Leach and slabhead Harry Maguire. What can you say about them two? Brilliant. The midfield, Kobe and Casemiro. It's what we've wanted all. It's what we've been screaming for all season. It's probably what we've been screaming for since Ruben Amorim took the job. In November of November 2024. So look, Kobe baller, Casemiro has that experience, knows what to do. Having Kobe, having Casemiro beside him is massive, and Casemiro having Kobe beside him is big as well. And Bruno obviously playing back in his usual 10 position is incredible. What was it, 6 years ago today? He signed for Manchester United. What a player he's been since he's came to the club. Look, let's jump in and talk about Fulham here fairly quick. But look, I think it is a big test for Carrick. Because we're playing against a low block, which we can struggle to break down. So I'm sure it's something Carrick has looked at during the week and train. I'm sure it's something that's been worked on. I'm sure it's something he's nailed into the players, and he knows what to do. And hopefully his players know what to do as well, because Fulham, low block, sit back, and the trouble is in the counter attack, and they are going on the counter attack as well. So they have pace there. Hopefully we can work on that and try and beat that low block and sort of excuse me, deal with that counter attack as well. Hopefully it's something we can work. Well, look, speaking of Fulham, let's jump in and speak about them. Look, there's that form. They're doing well lately. 2-2 draw against Liverpool, 2-1 win against Chelsea, 3-1 win against Middlesbrough in the FA Cup, I imagine. 1-0. Oh my God, why have I not put down? Well, scratch that. I don't know why I put 1 there. 0 losses. What a tick. And And yeah, they beat Brighton 2-1. So scratch that. 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. Stupid from me. Really, really stupid from me. But will they fancy it? Look, I think Fulham, they'll be looking at how they're playing lately. When losing 1 and 5. I think they'll know it won't be an easy one for them with how we're playing lately and the fact that they're coming to Old Trafford. But Wilson is their danger man for me. He's been flying lately. He's definitely the man to look out for. So hopefully whoever marking him can do a job. I'm trying to think where he plays because sometimes I've watched Fulham play some games this season. Sometimes he's been left wing, sometimes he's been on the right. So let me just have a look here who he might be up against because he'd have more chance of beating Dallow than he would Shaw, I think anyway. So previous game was 2-1 win against Brighton. Harry Wilson. He's played right wing, so I'll be up against Luke Shaw. Smith Rowe is a good player as well. Obviously, they have Jimenez, Robinson, Castagna. Fulham do have decent players. Fulham really do have good players. And look, we have better players. You know, we should have that quality. That quality should do it for them. But like I said, Fulham on that counter attack, yeah, something because like I said, they have pace coming forwards, and even Awobi, for an example, you know. So yeah, look, we that's something he needs to keep a close eye on. But I still think we'll do it. I mean, look, we'll throw up the predicted 11. The only change I've made is Cunha in for Dogu, which was pretty much a forced change because Dogu doesn't get injured. I'd probably predict the exact same team that played Arsenal last week. Because someone say, "Oh, put Mazraoui in." I don't think Carrick will do that personally. I even think last game Dallo actually done well last game, and that was up against. I know Trossard is shit, Madueke are shit, but you know I still think he done a good job. I even think after that yellow card he got against City, I thought he actually done pretty well, which was very weird to say about Dallo because he's been fucking wrecking our heads a lot this season, hasn't he, with his performances and what he's done. So yeah, I think Dallo's done well in the previous game. And Mazraoui being only back and you know, maybe he'll come on. But yeah, I don't think he'd be dropping that anytime soon, especially with Carrick looking at the previous 2 games. And yeah, look, he didn't do too bad lately, he played well, so no need to drop him. So yeah, we're really out to predict 11 anyways. Le Mans in goal, back 4, Shaw on the left, Shaw left back, Dallow right back, 2 centre backs of Martinez and Maguire. Midfield, Meno Casemiro, Bruno on the 10, Cunha on the left, Ahmad on the right, and Brian Mbeumo up top. Look, I mean, is there a reason to really change much in terms of obviously bringing in Cunha and dropping and not bringing in Cunha for Dogu because Dogu's injured? I don't see any reason for us to change massively. You know, Carrick is not a permanent manager; he's interim. What happened there? He doesn't have to do a whole lot. You know, stick to the players who are playing well, stick to the players who are doing a job for you, getting you to win. So yeah, that I think we should be. I don't think he'll make a lot of changes. Someone, you know, Sesko. You know, I don't think he would play Sesko and Mbeumo. I mean, look, we all said when we were talking about the City game how Ahmad and Mbeumo get into it, and we pretty much said, you know, Mbeumo play as a striker and Ahmad on the right, or maybe Ahmad on the left, or you know, we were sort of, you know. Some people are going mad saying we play Ahmad right back, which why the fuck could you do that? Then he can't attack. May as well be on the bench if that's the case. And this is how we've done. I mean, Ahmad and Mbeumo, we've missed up massively. And the fact that since they've came back, we've won our last 2 games. Yeah. I mean, look, obviously, the rest of the players as well obviously have a part to that. And Michael Carrick. Carrick ball is just, it's incredible. But look, in terms of score prediction, I pretty much spoiled it earlier on, didn't I? I'm going to go with a 2-1 win to Manchester United. I'm going to say Ahmad and Mbeumo score. And I'm going to say for Fulham, we'll go for the obvious choice, Wilson. He's been bagging lately for Fulham. So yeah, I think if we win them wins, we'll be a comfortable 2-1 win. I think it'd be a comfortable 2 win. We could be 2-0 up, and then maybe Fulham score a consolation in the last five. Last five probably nearly as fuck. But yeah, let's see what happens. I think we play well and we win because we cannot drop. You can't. Them players can't perform like that and then go back to playing shit. They have to keep it up now. You can't tease us and then not tease us. It's not good for us. Now, we're back to our fourth place. We need to hold that. Our next 3 games: Fulham at home, Tottenham at home, West Ham away. They're 3 games that we can win. With how we're playing lately, 3 games that we can win, and hopefully we do. But we'll take one game as it comes, and Fulham is the game that we'll focus on. This has been the match reaction for the Man United Fulham Premier League game at Old Trafford on Sunday. Kickoffs at 2 p.m. Post-match reaction straight after the match. Hope you all liked the video. Like, comment your predictions, subscribe, and follow our Instagram. Link is in the description. Follow our TikTok. I posted a video on that out there, basically saying live since Carrick'S ball. So yeah, please go and follow that if you can. Just type up the United Way, and you'll see. You'll know when you see it. This has been the match preview for the game on Sunday against Fulham at Old Trafford. Thanks for watching. Last but not least, come on,